Hi, this is Nick from Hogan's Alley Paintball, and today we're going to talk about the Tippmann TiPX pistol, and one of the most common troubleshooting problems is a leak out the pressure regulator and how to adjust the pressure blow-off valve and velocity. This is what the piston looks like inside the gun. This is what the pressure regulator looks like from the inside, and we're going to take it apart so that we can better understand how it works. So this nut is what you can see from the outside of the gun. We're going to take the nut off using a 3/16 Allen key. There's a spring on the inside. And then this is the pressure relief valve. On the inside through there, that's how the regulator works. You'll see that there's a pin on the inside that you can push down on, and there's a regulator seat on the other side of that. For the purpose of this video, we're just going to talk about adjusting the velocity and the pressure release valve. So the pressure release valve has a nut on the inside that you can adjust with an 1/8" Allen key. So again, you've got your 3/16 to adjust the nut on the outside for the velocity, and then your 1/8 Allen key to adjust the pressure relief valve. Now, why do you have to adjust the pressure relief valve? Well, because CO2 and compressed air are two totally different gases with different expansion properties, and one will have a pressure relief setting a lot higher and lower than the other one. Also, the disposable 12-gram cartridges have a different pressure relief valve setting, and so does even just the disposable cartridges in different temperatures. So this does have to be adjusted, quite frequently. So if we look on the inside here, I'll back this nut out so that you can see it better. There's the nut. On the inside of the nut, there's a spring, and that adjusts the tension on the relief valve so that pressure will be released if it builds up too high in the regulator. Now, this is important for two different reasons. The first reason is if the velocity is really high or the pressure inside the regulator is really high, the velocity will be super high and can be really dangerous if you're playing paintball. The other thing is if the pressure is too high, higher than it's designed for the gun is designed to shoot, it will damage the valve inside the gun. It'll overwork and it'll get stuck open, closed, and parts will start to bend. So it's important that you get the pressure relief valve set to the right pressure for the gas that you're using it with. So to adjust it, it's the 1/8" Allen key, and the more you turn clockwise, the tighter the nut gets and the more pressure it's going to take to release the valve. The more you go counterclockwise, brings the nut further out, less tension on the spring, and the less pressure it'll take. So when it's assembled inside the TiPX pistol, it looks like this. And as you can see, if I put the big Allen key in, I can rotate the velocity adjustment nut, but the pressure relief valve doesn't move. And if I put the small Allen key in, I can adjust the pressure relief valve, but the velocity adjuster nut doesn't move. So it's important that you know the difference between the two Allen keys and what it is that you're trying to do. Usually we like to start off with the nut backed out all the way, velocity-wise. And then same thing with the pressure relief valve. Turn it in to the point where it's not leaking anymore. Fire the gun a few times because you need to relieve the pressure downstream. And then slowly turn the velocity up to the point where the gun starts to fire consistently and regularly with sufficient force. If you have a chronograph, that's even better. Dial the velocity in somewhere between 280 and 300 feet per second. Once you get to the desired velocity, again, making sure that it's not too high, not too low. If you don't have a chronograph, you can always pick up a used one. I see a lot of them on eBay for around $50, or stop by your local paintball store or field. Every store or field that I know of will allow you to chronograph your gun for free. It's a basic safety function. Once you have your gun shooting at the right velocity, by turning the outside nut, you're going to want to put your 1/8 inch Allen key in and turn the inside nut to the point where it doesn't leak anymore through the pressure regulator. Again, fire it a couple of times while you're doing this to relieve the pressure downstream and reset the spring in the piston. But once you get it to the point where it's just barely not leaking, give it another 1/4 of a turn just to compensate for pressure differences as you're firing it, and then you're good to go. Again, I want to stress that you don't have to take this apart to adjust it. You're going to adjust it while it's inside the gun, all assembled. I just took it apart so that you could understand better how it was working inside the gun and the difference between the large nut and the small nut. Thanks for watching. Play safe and have fun.